Hello everyone, this is a Greyshot17 to bring you another COH2 replay. For those who are new to these company first replays, my name is Greyshot17 and I commentate over replays submitted by fans of my channel or just random people that submit replays. You don't know how to submit a replay? Go look it up on my channel. Essentially, you send the replay to my Gmail and or Facebook and I take a look at it, see how you do, criticize it, make fun of it, laugh at it, and enjoy it nonetheless. That's what I try to do. Try to bring some fun to it. In any case, this is a 3v3 with the person submitting it. Skip this part if you don't want to know, because sometimes people are like, ew, that tells the winner or loser. I'm like, whatever. I do want to tell who submitted it because it's the least I can do. Naguchi, thank you for submitting it. Also, Thunder and Mend are on his team with Hoo-Hoo, Give It a Shot, and Daywalker. So a nice all-force allied team. And 2 Vermok and an OKW. I will say this, I had a huge spike in people watching my COH2 content. I'm assuming it's from the Humble Bundle sale, essentially giving it away for free. So thank you for those who watched. I hope you guys are enjoying it. And I hope you guys enjoy future and past content just as much. But in any capacity, let's get to it, shall we? General Mud, oh boy, it's a, technically I prefer 4v4, but it can be done in a 3v3 map. That's not saying it's a bad idea, it's just saying it's just not a good idea for a 3v3 because it's so open. It can be very difficult, especially a double team, like said double team over here. I like how the conscripts making heavy cover, again, just a defensive line. I'm assuming the echelon troops are going to put an MG bunker maybe behind it for extra defense. We shall see. Because, again, you can make a fighting position that has an MG to hold back positions, which is pretty cheap but very easily destroyed. Doesn't look like he's doing that. Doctrines-wise, we have Spearhead Doctrine, so nice mortars for mobile artillery. We got Tiger and Fragmentation, good against infantry, and pretty much, if the Fragmentation will keep things pinned, while the Tiger is good against most vehicles, except for a lot of tank destroyers or heavy anti-vehicle infantry. We have Thunderbolt with Breakthrough Doctrine. Again, the Yak Tiger is fantastic for long-range combat, but that being said, infantry-wise, it's also pretty damn good. Again, Panzerfull Slayer is great long-range. Sturm Officer, you're great for just supporting infantry. Will this thing die? Probably not, because again, they're here to support, and he's completely surrounded. Unlikely because of the fact I don't see a medical or mechanized building, so we can't deploy a fire grenade, which means that the infantry in cover will have an advantage for at least some more time. Right-hand side looks like the allies trying to push forward, but having some issues. Nice flank over here. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to do enough damage. Oh, it's close. Oh my god, that sucks. Great job, Pioneer Squad. Great job. Managed to flank the MG, show its take out its weak point, and knock it out. Now, with the heavy cover, Grenadier should be able to hold these guys back until they get in heavy cover, or is try to steal the MG. Okay. Problem is, well, he has an MG over here, which can help suppress it. And yes, you could say that MG would have an issue because, well, I think it's in, hold on. It actually is a negative cover, never mind. So that'll just get suppressed. Cool. And this MG should be relatively fine because it suppressed the other MG first, meaning the Axis will have this point on the right, while the Allies will have the fuel point on the left. Fuel point's good for getting armor, and that's very critical at the beginning for getting the first armored units. That said, typically munitions is good for specials and what I typically try to go for in a game. Now in this 3v3, let's double check what the Allies are going. We have heavy cavalry, which brings up the heavy infantry rangers, and of course, the Pershing, which, yes, it's called a heavy tank, just like the KV-1 is a heavy tank, but unlike the KV-1, which has a more armor for the heavy tank variety, the Pershing is a better gun, but unfortunately not a ton of great armor, so we can't really go toe-to-toe with, let's say, a Tiger heavy tank, or an IS-2 heavy tank. Not gonna happen. Or Crocodile, which has enough armor that it's like, you want to try to hurt me? That's hilarious. Anyway, with the Special Weapons Regiment, you can drop weapons, which is really good for your allied team, getting its extra supplies and helping out your teammates. Also, Daywalker is Gone Shock Rifle, one of the most infamous Soviet tactics that you can use because, again, you get fire, you get shock troops, great close range, and you get the good old IS-2 and a KV-8 that burns everything alive. So, you know, good mix all around. Allies and Axis pretty damn close overall. We'll see how things go. Smoke being deployed, most likely try to get close to that MG, maybe throw the Molotov cocktail. Oh, look, he has the upgrade. Man, who would have guessed it? Unfortunately, the smoke going down is going to block the sight of that MG squad. Now, he could get in the building, as there's nothing in there, or he could try to get ahead. Unfortunately, I see oh, that poor Grenadier squad get knocked out, and the allies, overwhelming the Axis, are going to take over mid. We can see here that, again, there's like 2 different guys over here fighting. He's not getting in the building because the flamethrower do a ton of damage reversing him. Unfortunately, the mortar is helping out, making that Grenadier squad not Grenadier, sorry, that Engineer squad very difficult to hold the enemy or push forward. We have a large blob of forces with the Sturm Officer leading the charge. Problem is, he hit the Sturm Officer, he caused him to retreat, but looks like he should be fine. Nice Minesweeper, by the way, just in case. But overall, not bad. You got anti-armor, anti-infantry, and then over here we have anti-infantry focus, infantry/armor. So you can see the same thing with the Allies too, and just overall good focus. So the Allies have overall really good doctrines. I double-checked their ranks; they're all pretty about the same level, nothing too bad. And then we have the OKW player trying to hold out, but managed to get a kill, which is very nice. But unfortunately, even with the Sturm Officer there, he's kind of close, like grouped up, which is going to be a big issue. Good thing he retreated, because he could have taken some more casualties, most likely from mortar fire if he would have tried to stay there and hold. Luckily, he doesn't have to go very far, which is very nice. Good positioning on the battle group headquarters that we can reinforce his guys and keep up the fight, where the Allies really don't have that forward assembly, at least anyone positioned. I love this blob. It's like, yeah, guys, we're going to charge with this blob. Yeah, I think there's a problem. Oh, shoot. MG opening fire on all those guys. British trying to get down position, but one MG is doing more than enough to suppress all those men. Again, blobs are great if you can puncture enemy lines. The problem is MGs are the counter. They suppress, and please activate armor piercing. Yes, armor piercing rounds, which increases suppression and damage dealing abilities. Unfortunately, it looks like we have one MG guy left. We have a motorized, oh yeah, we have a half-track over there, helping guys by deploying some Grenadier squads for a nice flank, and forcing the British back. Excellent maneuvering and positioning, Mend. You managed to push back the British, push back their entire assault, and without that, oh boy, without a forward assembly or anything, it's going to be a while before they can really push counter. That being said, we do have a bunch of shock troops moving up in their good close range, but the problem I see though is that half-track can be able to reinforce those Grenadiers, which should allow them to hold the front long enough that they can push back the shock troops before taking substantial damage. Which is why you typically want to take out these half-tracks, because otherwise the enemy will just keep resuppplying, and it's quite annoying. We have a large, oh boy, another large blob on the left, but this one's not being faced by any MGs. Unfortunately, with the American player, you don't get MGs initially, so it is very difficult to deal with blobs. That being said, you do have very powerful infantry, so typically you'll see American blobs counter blobs, just pure frontline infantry, because they can take the heat and dish it out just the same. Nice kill, by the way, on that engineer squad retreating. Those combat engineers, unfortunately, with the flamethrower, very effective, but once again, very vulnerable if it's the last man, and you just need to blow up the tank. Looks like we have a lot of guys pushing in. That should be more than enough to push these guys back. And Mend is capturing the right-hand side. Wow, looks like we have, I think it's Nog going through mid and capturing territory. I'm going to say this at the end, but I do, real quick, want to thank my Patreon supporters for this content. Little break while the actions roll all. With Ace, Sean, Tim, Leo, Shijones, and I think that's everybody. Oh, and Nick. Thank you all for your awesome support. You all rock. And they support me on Patreon. You don't have to. Just like, subscribe. That helps me a lot. Seriously, it does. Doesn't matter what people say. Just watching my content, liking it, helps a lot, an incredible amount. Also, I realized, unfortunately, I don't know if I did this on purpose or it's just my luck, but literally when I type in Company of Heroes 2 on YouTube, like the first page, or I guess the first like 30 results or so, however you want to consider the first page now. Remember in good old YouTube days there were pages, but whatever. It's all my content, mostly. You got some older stuff from like Angry Joe and GameSpot and stuff like that for like playthroughs, but otherwise like most of it's mine, so I'm like, alright, I may have a small monopoly on this. But that being said, Malaka hasn't posted anything in a while. I know Call of Duty Man left, which is a shame. He's a really good guy. Whatever he goes to do, I wish him the best of luck. So, yeah, a lot of the CH2 YouTubers I've seen are kind of leaving-esque, or doing different things, which is totally fine because you still got Shermanator and all those guys. Oh my God! I hope you saw that man go flying. Dude, did he fly all the way over here? There's the body! Oh my God! Those who don't know, the body flew from over here to over here. That's a distance of what? If that tank is like... Okay, if that's a person lays down, it's like a 20-foot tank. That person literally probably went... Yeah, this, like, easily the size of a football field away. That was crazy. At least I think it was a football field. I'm guessing over here to here is probably 250 feet. I'm going on base assumption. Maybe I'm just dead wrong, but I'm just looking at the men laying down. It's at least 100 plus. Maybe 250 is a little light. Maybe, okay, maybe half a football field, just put in perspective. But still, pretty freaking far. I have football on the brain because Steelers versus Patriots, and they lost by the stupidest, goddamn call I've seen. But anyway, I'm a Steelers fan for those who don't know. Go Steelers, and right now they're going into the playoffs, so I really don't care if they lose one game to the Patriots because we can kick their butt later. Speaking of kicking their butt, that's exactly what the Axis are doing. They managed to overrun a lot of allied positions, push them back pretty effectively, and lock down a lot of key territory like fuel and munitions, and now can start using that against the enemy. The enemy of which has a very small army, about, what, low 40s? Well, the Axis, except for Mel, which unfortunately, I think it might be rushing for armor, which, oh, look, he's rushing for armor. Have actually decent armies in, like, the upper 40s, low 50s. Add everything together, and yeah, it's gonna be a... Oh boy. Probably mid 40s, I would say, about average. But we'll see how well the British do. I do find it funny these British have Piats. I guess they're trying to target the half track, but there is no half track. So really, it's just if the MGs press them, they're screwed. Because the Piats don't do as much versing that infantry. Left-hand side, we have a double push from two different squads. And now they have Thompsons with Rangers leading them, which is horrifying. Equipped with that with shock troops, you essentially have the best units in the game for dealing close range damage. Next, like, the only other things I can think of is like PPSH equipped conscripts or paratroopers with Thompsons or something along those lines. Otherwise, these things are brutal. Just brutal in their efficiency to take down enemies close range. Also, it looks like Give It a Shot is bringing out a Sherman. That's a pretty damn good time. And you can say, oh, Greyshot, he deployed Panzer IV. Well, yeah, that's true, but still, the Allies deploying armor when they really haven't had the fuel for too long is pretty astounding. Though, nice job on recapturing on the left. Again, not really much to hold it. It is one guy after all. Nice with this, the headquarters. It should be able to hold this relative position. I expect some grenades to go in this building, probably kill it. Yep, there it goes. 2 grenades, and he's going to try to get out. Nice job. Gets out before the building collapses. Very nicely done. Half-track opening fire on the Blob, which should suppress all of them and force them to retreat. And yeah, these guys are going to mow them down as they retreat, so excellent positioning. Can he get a kill is the question, at least on one Ranger squad. Nope. Actually, it looks like that Maxim is going to suppress all these guys, which does suck, but remember, he can just retreat all the way back here, which is half the distance, or if not like a third of the distance to his base, and then just reinforce front line, and he's good to go. Sherman just testing the water. Trying to blow open this area. It seems to be having some issues. Just some small ones, I would say. We have on the right, we have a Centaur with the British. Most likely they broke through, but again, Mendel's not going down without a fight. We have a couple bunkers. I see no mines, which could be a small issue. He has a ton of munitions. I'm actually surprised he didn't try to lay down some mines. Again, you could have easily... Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I guess he doesn't have it. Huh. Oh, well. He could have, you know, tried to go an airstrike or some type of ability. but we'll see how things go. Now, Panzer IV moving up, but remember those Piats I mentioned earlier? Yeah, they suck versus infantry, but damn are they good against armor. Luckily, that Panzer IV can keep the distance, can use its main gun to open fire. Unfortunately, those Piats are doing a lot of damage, and right now the Centaur is going to push back that infantry. That's what it's designed to do. The Panzer IV is a good line battle tank, so it can reverse both armor and infantry alike. Nice bundle grenade from that Panzer Grenadier squad. Seems to damage a lot of them, and oh, there goes one squad. Unfortunate. Will he lose the other one is the question. Looks like he might win that, but the problem is that Panzer IV is barely alive, and if that Centaur really pushed, he might be able to do enough damage to kill that Panzer IV. It would take quite a number of shots or a rear shot to really do enough damage, but it looks like he is going in, and looks like he just did enough damage on the front end, which is very good on his part, very nicely done. We have artillery coming in, most likely trying to remove that MG, so we went on artillery barrage, so we went joint operations. So expect artillery and a PaK-43 to help lock down this position. Oh, look, I was right. Very nice. Also, for those who don't know, I will be doing a quick other side note I keep forgetting. I'll be doing a side, my thoughts on Company of Heroes 2, the update, once it releases. People keep asking about that, I'll do it when it releases. And I also have an update on the campaign for Company of Heroes 3 or whatever Relic's going to do based on another survey they sent me. Most likely they didn't see my video on the last survey, but I'm glad they sent it to me, and I'm glad to go over it, because again, that's always fun to speculate, and I kind of like going over what they think for a campaign. Because while I didn't necessarily enjoy the Soviet campaign, I really enjoyed the Ardennes campaign for Company of Heroes 2, the expansion. So if they do something more lines of that with an alternate history component, you got my attention. Now then, Panzer IV opening fire, getting some nice shots in. This guy's really low in infantry in comparison to the Axis. Right now, he's taking some serious losses, and the Soviet player is not much better. Daywalker needs to get some more guys on the ground. The problem is, unfortunately, the shock troops are just so damn expensive. Looks like a small push with some conscripts ended up backfiring as he ran into multiple Grenadier squads and quickly mowed him down. Right-hand side, we do have Hoo-Hoo, and it looks like he is capturing the right-hand side territory, which is very important, because not only do you get the fuel, but you get the star, and the 2 stars will at least bring down the cap a little bit, so that way you can help turn the tide and the cap points and maybe win the game if you can control it. Nice job, men, doing a recon, but unfortunately, they have a Centaur, which allows for something very simple to happen, a plane to get shot down. Oh god. Just like that. Oh boy. The wonders of anti-aircraft guns. Panzer IV rolling up, seems to be running into no opposition whatsoever. Knocking out some mortars to help the Axis hold or try to push left maybe. It looks like he's being supported by Nog, who's supporting it with multiple Grenadier squads. He does have a mobile half-track to kind of help with support, which is pretty smart. Have someone get deployed to mid, help with some mortar hits, and when the armor comes, just get the heck out of there. And it can also deploy smoke, so that way, again, you can make sure it's covered and gets out of there in one piece. Shock troops, good idea for ambushes, but unfortunately, out of cover in an open sight, they don't last typically that long, because again, they have a lot of armor, but they don't have long-range weapons. It's just not really going to work. They have to close the gap, which is why I like the counterattacks doctrine. For those who don't know, I worship a B4, and that B4 comes from a doctrine called counterattacks from the Soviet. But it has for Mother Russia, and it essentially allows the shock troops and Soviet infantry to have a speed boost, which I find very important if you're going to help counter. More artillery coming in, which is actually pretty damn effective against the infantry, just a little bit. Pushing them back with all the Grenadiers and that poor MG moving up. Looks like we also have a Panther, which is a good idea, because essentially everything but a Commodore Churchill can fight that thing without a problem. The Churchill variant has an issue because it just takes so much damage that the Panther can literally be shooting it for quite some time, which puts you at risk. Compared to the Comet, which is a frontline battle tank, has harder penetrating that front armor, but it's very quick, so you can come around from the side and neutralize it through the back or side armor. Now let's see here, we have Thunderbolt just looking. We have a KV-8, which is a weird choice. I would have gone with an IS-2, honestly. I get why he wanted to go and he wanted to counter the infantry with a flamethrower unit, but I feel like also supporting with the tank, which, by the way, you know you can decrew, right? You can decrew and heal that. And maybe or an IS-2 would have probably been better. Nice job, by the way, Nog. Looks like we're able to take that point. And we can see over here, this point is decapped, so the allies are not getting that fuel. They're only getting fuel from... They actually have no command points, which is also astounding. Wait, no, I'm sorry. They do. They have 1 fuel point. They don't have any munitions points. Whereas the Axis seem to be doing pretty damn well at loading up on fuel munitions, which is good. Long-term combat. It helps save up, and you can get to a few more things if you have those attachments to the supply ports. Now, we have a big push over here, but once again, we have to deal with the armor. And the OKW player really doesn't have all that much to deal with armor. Star Pioneers can be equipped with Panzer Sharks, but unfortunately, that removes their Minesweeper ability. I prefer the Minesweeper, because while Panzer Shark can be helpful, I can get a Verkenwerfer if I need to fight armor. The big thing is making sure you don't run to a demo or a mine or something on the enemy team, because that is quite likely to happen. We have Panzer Grenadiers just trying to catch. I love how, by the way, they have MG42 from my normal Grenadier squad, but whatever. Looks like a lot of the armor and infantry are focusing on the left-hand side as a final ditch effort, which is okay, but once these defenses are done, I really hope you focus somewhere else, because otherwise, if you're losing, you need to kind of hit the enemy where they're not expecting it, and I feel like they keep expecting it from this region. Also, 2 KV-8s, really, you don't save up for an IS-2, which was literally deployed, like, in a minute, if that. He's already 11.75 points. All he needs is 12, and he'll be fine. Alright, at least they do have a Jackson, so they can help push back some of the heavier armored forces. Jacksons are great in that regard. They can literally hold back Panthers and penetrate their front armor, which makes them very good. I know a lot of the tank destroyers will be changed in the update, but we'll see how that goes, because I'm kind of optimistic about it. I want to see in large-scale testing before I give an opinion on, oh, this is overpowered or underpowered, because we've had times where people complain that the Axis or the Allies were overpowered. It gets changed and then actually becomes overpowered for that respective faction or the other faction. So, we'll see how things go. We have Stug, which I'm assuming he deployed for... No, just an MG. Alright, never mind. Stugs are pretty damn good against armor, not really infantry. They're mini tank destroyers, essentially. Unfortunately, that is also a comet, so the mini tank destroyer is going to have a hard time penning. That being said, looks like he's trying right now. He's doing a weak point shot, which will knock out the turret. Yeah. So the main loader's gone, which is cool. Again, that just kind of is another vulnerability to the tank you have to consider if it like can't turn its turret or gets knocked out or pinned or something along those lines. Crew member gets injured. Nice shot on the Sherman. Managed to neutralize that with the Panther and the Panzer IV. Looks like we have some long-range AT from the Pack 40 opening fire in this position, and they're going to pull back respectively. Once again, you guys aren't doing that great against the Axis, and I feel like maybe repositioning to help with the other side with, was it Hoo-Hoo would probably be more effective. Because you trying to fight over here is not that effective in the grand scheme of things. Not saying you need it to be, but it does help when at least you can give the idea that you have a huge army, even if it's a bluff. No, you can't deploy wooden men in here just like right before D-Day. But you at least you can, through subtle tricks, make the enemy think that you have way more units than you actually do. So you can use that to your advantage. But again, it requires a lot of skill and also a lot of vehicle crews.
HMG squad ready for action.
So looks like we have an MG squad moving up. Most likely trying to reinforce the front, hold back large blobs, and keep the American infantry out of the infirmary so that way they can keep fighting for as long as possible. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that would be over here. He hasn't upgraded the command post, which is kind of weird. You figure he would try to upgrade that to get all the units. Kind of like... No, he hasn't upgraded his mechanized armor Campania. So he only has light stuff. Hoo-Hoo has his stuff upgraded, so at least he has that complete. Which, by the way, he still has that Comet, just hanging out. Looks like we have a semi-small push on the left. By semi-small, I mean they are charging. They're pushing in. Luckily, the MG34 might be able to hold them off, especially if he can activate armor-piercing rounds and gets a Vet 2, which would help out quite a bit. For those who don't know Vet 2, there's Vet 2, improved suppression and field control, which on MG34, not a bad idea. At this point with the smoke, I would run because that MG is going to be useless. So on the right-hand side, oh, actually mid, hold on, we have Is it Hoo? No, it's Mendel. No, Daywalker. Coming around with his KV-8, which once again I find very weird. Hitting the AT gun with a flamethrower, and unfortunately it's not going to do enough damage, and the mine finishes it off. Excellent mine positioning. At least you were able to kill it. I know with the AT gun you probably would have, but there was a chance they could have recruited. So it's always good that you knock it out as soon as possible, so that way you're good in most scenarios and the enemy doesn't take it. It looks like we have a large armor push with two Stugs backing up, sorry, a Stug backing up two Panzer IVs. With the large infantry push and the Stug most likely going to try to push back the Comets. They should be okay. That being said, both Comets use common sense and kind of can flank the Panzer IVs and concentrate on one at a time. They should be able to knock out the overall firepower coming in from three guys to kind of make it closer to one. We'll see. They have the Piats over here, which could help turn the top. Oh, nope. Just enough firepower. Managed to knock them out. So very good job on that part. Managed to push them back. They're in full retreat, like, peace out. We're not, yeah, we're out. See ya. Bye. We are not fighting this. Unfortunately, a little close on that artillery, as that is the concentrated fire operation. So, unfortunately, did barely hit that Panzer IV, which brought it down to very low health. Oh no, and brought the Stug down to low health. Barely missing that shot with the Piat. The Stug managed to knock out that Comet. We have the second one coming in. Very nice shot indeed with the Stug, but unfortunately that Comet's going in for the kill. Do you have mines stationed and ready to go? Because right now that's what you kind of need, so this thing survives. Without main gun and without a weak point to like stop it or pin it, there goes the Comet with a kill of a Stug. Left hand side looks like we have a reinforced position, we have a fighting position, all sorts of stuff to hold that line for as long as possible because they need to. We look at overall score and the Allies are down by a decent margin. They need to counter bad. Nice job with the Comet, by the way, knocking out the fuel cache. Small stuff like that does help in the long run because that's 200 manpower they lose, and munitions or extra fuel they also lose. So good on that part, just like killing a supply truck. That being said, we have a nice helpful teammate with Nog coming over and trying to help out with a Grenadier squad moving in. I wonder if they get Panzerfaust on knockout's engine, and the Panther comes in and kills it. That can be very good. You have to worry about the Panzerfaust because if you have less than 75% of your engine after a hit, most likely you will lose your engine and, yeah, run into some big problems with roving bands of infantry swarming your tank and or armor just staying right outside your range, but still opening fire on you to try to neutralize it. Speaking of which, nice job on the Comet with the Panzer Grenadiers and the Panzerfaust. Slow it down. Panzer Shreks knocked them out, and GG to that squad. Or poor tank crew, I should probably say. How many kills do you have with this? You have 7. Alright, well, it could be better for Vet 2. Just saying. Could be better. Now we have a large defensive line over here. Looks like David repairs Jackson, which is smart, again. And I like how he actually uses repair crew, which is helpful. Maybe his teammate told him, I don't know. But yeah, make sure if you have a vehicle repair crew, use it. Because that thing can come in... yeah, it comes in handy. Nice job pushing these guys back. Unfortunately, they have the point, but that OKW Thunder is just providing a great defensive line, making sure they can't push up. Also, nice Yag Tiger, so if they push up armor, even though this thing is good against infantry, it sucks versus pretty much all armor, except for like a T-34 and light armor, because the light armor has so weak that the normal like flak rounds can hurt it, and on the flip side, a T-34 for whatever reason has such weak armor that it can also be affected. Sherman's really not, and I can say the same thing about most other stuff. Also, nice shot, by the way. You can use the flare, spot the enemy, you found the fighting position, you neutralize it so your teammates most likely don't get suppressed by it. We still have a 50 cal machine gun you have to worry about that could easily suppress your guys. We have a double team on the right-hand side. This seems to be working with a Tiger and a Stug, respectively, pushing back the British. And the British holding a desperate line defense at that position, knowing if they lose that, it's pretty much GG for this point. Looks like we have light artillery coming in. Very surprised he didn't try to heal the forward assembly base with his engineer squad. That's what I would have done, and I have done. Trying to keep that thing operational so you can keep the forward point operational instead of running for quite some time just try to get to that point. Nice job, Tiger, pushing them back, and he's going to have to run back all the way to his base. He does have a truck that can drop supplies, which is nice, but most likely, again, it's going to be some time before he has enough. Well, I take it back. He has more than enough munitions, but enough space, I should say, for his infantry to have Piats and Brens to kind of keep that stuff fighting and going for quite a considerable amount of time. Is it Brens? Am I wrong? I think I'm wrong. You have more artillery coming in. I don't know where that one's going to be. I don't see it anywhere. Looks like you're trying another shot here, but alas, even with the cover, the Tiger's still like, I can blind shot through the forest. That'll be good. Unfortunately, though, it looks like the Allies are being pushed back, and overall their command points are being taken left and right. Pack gun trying to hold the point, but alas, enough firepower neutralizes it, and they're going to fall back to their assembly. Once again, really surprised that we're not seeing more assemblies. Yeah, you're the American player here, but where's the British one? You figure the British would try to have a forward assembly of some major type over here, and then on the flip side, remember when, hold on, where's the British guy? There we go. Remember when Hoo had all those defenses set up? Yeah, he doesn't have those anymore, which is kind of terrifying. Crocodile moving up, and again, it has a flamethrower attachment, so it helps burn down enemy positions, and also its main gun is pretty damn potent, bursting infantry and armor, respectively. Of course, Panther's going to be more difficult with the sloped armor, but I've seen Churchills be able to at least get in quite number of good hits, so we'll see how well it does. Overall, looks like we have some, we have something over here. Looks like we have more artillery. Oh, fire coming in, push back the infantry, very smart, keep them back, so that way the Churchill could live. Looks like we have artillery coming down. Give it a shot. Orange just left, even though he's holding the left. So, unfortunately, we have that. But I think he left because he knew the game was over, which I find surprising because you figure people would keep it. I don't try to leave games unless they really have to, whether it's a stream or something, someone didn't join up. Because you want to try to get those points so you can unlock stuff. I don't know why you would play a game for 30 minutes and then, like, I'm going to leave. And it's like, you know, if you wait a minute, you'll get points, right? I think some people want it for wins and losses, but I still think it counts. So that can't possibly be it. But in any case, that's game. I have to say, great job on the right-hand side, Mendy, Burr. Because, again, you were able to hold it right, push very difficult, push very well, hit two different guys, mostly one, but you did hit the second guy in mid and cause some havoc on his end. So very nice job. Overall, let's double check score. Nog got most damage. I can believe it. I'm assuming, hold on. I'm assuming, no, that was a Stug. That's what I would figure for the other guy because he kept deploying Stugs. But Nagu, what did you pick? Oh, can I please? Okay. Panther. Okay, that makes sense. This Panther did get a ton of damage on the Churchill and whatnot, so that makes perfect sense. Mortar half-track friendly fire, and Grenadier's number of kills 55. Nothing to sneeze at. Again, also getting most. Oh, I'm sorry, no, Thunderbolt got most kills. I'm actually curious. How did Thunderbolt you get most kills? What'd you get kills with? I'm curious. Come on. Panzer IV. Okay, yeah, your Panzer IV grouping was pretty damn good. And then let's double check and see Mend. Mend, your best was Dukes. Okay, well, that makes sense. Kind of expected that. And also on your team, Give It a Shot got most damage. And Baya Hare Hoo got more kills. And yeah, Daywalker took a ton of losses, which makes sense. He was being pummeled left and right and then started getting more expensive units. So even though the British guy was doing quite well, he had infantry that were designed for like stationary or defensive combat, not really mobile offensive combat, where you have the Soviet guy who picked a doctrine that's really good at having a quick, fast moving unit go in to get a kill and get out with smoke cover and everything if need be. The paraglider thing is a nice addition, and I do like it coming in, but I don't think it fundamentally changes the game enough to where I'm like, okay, that seems cool. I'm like, I guess I won't touch this. But in any case, that's game. I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Tune in during the credits to see, of course, the next video of COH2, and, of course, the rest of my Patreon supporters, and one last shout-out. But in any case, it's been Greyshot17, and I'll see you all next time. Before this video ends, I want to give a special shout out to my Patreon supporters like Ace, Leo, Tim, Sean, Sejones, and Nick. Thank you guys so much for your awesome support, and I'll see you next time, guys.